got to turn on the private
Let me
thing.
see something. Oh, there we go. You can see me better
Yo
this
creo que
time.
nadie que entiende la emoción, pero desde mis 7 años me tocó vivir en un país donde me arrebataron mi infancia, me arrebataron todo. Y lo que está sucediendo el día de hoy es increíble, es increíble. Tengo un sentimiento demasiado grande.
Wow, I've never seen this.
Nadie lo entiende más que el que lo ha vivido, Dios mío. El hecho de poder volver a nuestro país. No lo entiende, nadie lo va a entender porque solamente los venezolanos que hemos vivido esto, tantos
Wow.
años, Dios mío. Es increíble, este día va a quedar para la historia, Señor. No lo puedo creer todavía, Dios mío. Es increíble, esto es increíble. No tengo cómo explicar lo que siento en estos momentos. Estoy tan emocionada, Dios mío.
I'm tied in. Can you understand her, Paloma?
Yeah, of course I can understand them.
Venezuela
I didn't know if there was a
Venezuela va a crecer.
I didn't know if there was a different accent and stuff like that that would make it
Oh,
hard.
no. I can understand her perfectly. And Venezuelans and Mexicans are very similar in when it comes to language, because Venezuela, Bogota, Colombia, and Mexico City are some of the most educated people in when it comes to Hispanics, and the reason why is because we all speak proper Spanish.
Venezuela used to be a gangbuster economy at one time.
Oh yeah, Caracas used to be. Yeah. I mean Venezuela in general, but Caracas is a very cultured, very. They have a lot. They also have a lot of Miss Universe. Because, like I said, they're very intelligent, very, very intelligent, and very beautiful people. So they're very cultured, they're very intelligent, and they're very educated. So anyway, yeah, I understand her perfectly. She's just so excited. I mean, not excited, but she's saying excited, but she's so moved by what Trump is doing, by what Trump did as far as removing Maduro. And she says that her freedom was taken away from her when she was 17 years old. So I'm not sure if she is in America or because I know that President Trump is also, as of today, I believe they are releasing political prisoners. Did you hear about that?
No. Oh, you mean Venezuela is, right?
Well, no, but Trump personally, the Trump administration personally, and I just heard it right now from Marco Rubio's niece, who is a friend of mine. She posted that that they are releasing people from political prisons from jail in Venezuela that have.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know how long these people have been incarcerated for, but however long it's been. I mean, can you imagine thinking you're going to spend the rest of your life in there and really having no fair for any sort of, any chance for any sort of fair treatment or any sort of fair trial? Because at the end of the day, it's a regime that he was running. He was running a dictatorship, basically.
Can you see this?
And so knowing, yeah, what is that? Oh my God!
Some of the political prisoners. That's what they were doing to them. I can't show the video because it's so horrific what they were doing to them.
Oh my God!
This is in
Where did you get that video?
Huh?
Where did you get that?
I talk to people all around the world. I can't show the video. It's horrific.
Oh my God! I don't want to see it. But anyway, so
it gets really bad.
Oh no, I don't want to see it. I believe me. I get it. So anyway, what she's saying is that she's just so moved and so it's almost like they never thought something like this would happen, because once those people are in power, how the hell do you get them out of power? It's impossible to get them out of power. It happened to us here at some point where we had the PRI as
Mhm.
our main political party, and they can basically, even now, I mean, people get, as far as government, a lot of times they get away with anything they want, and there is basically nothing you can do about it unless, even, I mean, unless things now like the reach that we all have on social media, unless a lot of pressure is put on the
Mhm.
government and stuff like that, on by the people. But for years we felt completely helpless against the government. There are no laws, it's all corruption, and it's even like that now. Obviously not as bad as Venezuela, but I can't imagine being in these, some a lot of their positions where they are prisoners, and simply for expressing their freedom of opinion, or their freedom of speech. They're expressing their opinion, peacefully protesting, because we saw it during the election when he allegedly won the election, which we know he didn't. He was arresting a lot of people after the
Yeah,
election,
Venezuela.
people that were protesting, yeah, or even like not even people that were just protesting, but people that were making videos from their homes, or they would literally come in and drag them out of their houses.
Someone said in Mexico they just assassinate their political opponents. Is that true?
They do, and I'm sure Maria Machado, who was his biggest contender. I'm sure she would have been killed had she not left the country. I know she hasn't been back. She hasn't been in Venezuela for a long time.
Yeah,
I
she got the
watched.
Nobel Peace Prize, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't seen her. I mean, I haven't seen her. I don't know. I saw her interview yesterday or the day before, and I know that she mentioned now perhaps being able to go back. But other than that, I don't know where she's at. I don't really know much about her other than, you know, um, hold on. Um, Other than that.
Yeah, I'm
So,
hearing Trump's already making some deals for them to sell their oil and all that kind of stuff. We're going to sell it and then give them back the profit, whatever the profit is. We're going to sell it at cost.
well, the thing is that
At
for
cost.
those countries that are so poor and that are so poorly managed, because that's really what they are, they're
They steal from
they
you.
are they're poorly managed. They I mean, they do have the resources, kind of like Mexico does, but there's so much corruption and there is so much mismanagement on behalf of the leaders. There is so much funneling of funds and corruption, and I mean just so much that even though they do have the resources, they do have the natural resources such as oil. um, they don't profit from it the way they could, and especially now by supplying the U.S., which will be so incredibly useful. Wait 1 second, I gotta take this
Uh-oh.
call for a second.
Okay,
Hold on.
I'll play some more of that other video. Hold on, while you're doing that. Let me get back to it.
Okay, I'm back. But
Oh, you're back already?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I had to take a call for a second just because it was
Okay, I'll go ahead and
something
play this.
regarding the dogs
I
outside.
got about 5 minutes. All right. Hold on. I got to switch the screen now. This, 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 and this. I'll let it play.
No tengo cómo explicar lo que sienten en otros países en donde simplemente no valoran el hecho de
Oh, I
que
thought, are you
huimos
back?
de nuestra...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to take a call.
No. I took a call for a second just regarding my dogs because
Okay.
somebody was walking them. So anyway, yeah, it's the problem with them, even though they have all the oil, they have all the natural resources, is that they do not have the knowledge to actually exploit it the way they should for profit.
Yeah,
They
they
don't have the
kicked the
infrastructure.
oil companies out, and no one knew how to run the stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. And they don't have a lot of times the infrastructure, or the money, the investment to actually make it so that they can profit from what they have. Same thing happens in Mexico, which is something that the former government, the former president, was supposed to change, but never really did. And now we have this president
Well,
who's
they use
also
the
on.
money to stay in power.
Yeah, but even if a lot of times they just don't exploit those natural resources, they don't really do much with them. You know what I mean? Like think about this. Okay, think of what America does with every state. Every state has a different terrain, different obviously topography, all that stuff. But somehow America makes something out of nothing, kind of like they did in Vegas. I mean, think about this. Vegas has had, maybe not now because it's been so out of control as far as, whatever's going on with their prices and,
Hmm.
their microeconomy or whatever. But they created an oasis of money in the middle of the desert. I mean, think about it,
Well, they did
in
it
the
with
middle
gambling
of
originally.
yeah, in the middle of the desert, they somehow, and we're not talking about California where, next to the beach and the beautiful palm trees. We're talking about the middle of the desert being the hub for for many years, even if it's not right now anymore, because I think Vegas just kind of got, too expensive for what it is.
Hmm.
It worked when it was
Plus, people
cheaper.
copied them too.
Yeah, of course that too. But what I'm saying is, think of what Americans were able to create in Nevada, in Vegas, in Las
Hmm.
Vegas. You know, so if Mexico did that, if Mexico had, because Mexico does have a lot of amazing terrain as far as agriculture, and as far as we also have a lot of oil. We also have a lot of areas that we could exploit a lot more for tourism. Um, you know, and but yet we don't. And so I think the same thing happens with Venezuela. They have a lot of natural resources. They just don't have the capacity, the ability, maybe financially, and you know, and then the right leadership to exploit it all.
No, someone said that Mexico used to be a huge tourist place. Is it as much that anymore, or is it too
I
dangerous?
mean, it still is, but that's what I'm saying. It could be. It could be because we do have so many nice beaches. We do have amazing weather. We could have a lot more wine valleys. We have a couple. We have the Baja, a wine valley, and then we also have another area for wine, which is down near Mexico City and stuff like that. But and then obviously, we have the favorite, like we have Cabo and we have Cancun and we have other places. But there are so many more places that could be exploited and used, and for tourism. You
Yeah,
know,
said
and yet they're
kidnapping's
not.
an issue there now.
But that's another thing too. I mean, like when people and tourists are afraid of traveling and not coming home, like obviously that's gonna that's gonna deter a lot of people from coming in and spending money in a country. Obviously,
Yeah, has that still happened?
I mean, Mexico's a very dangerous country.
Yeah, so the kidnapping still happens then.
I don't know that kidnappings are a big as much as a big deal, but there's definitely a lot of crime, a lot of maybe more petty crime, a lot of robberies. Like you can't just walk around the middle of the street in a beach somewhere because
Mm.
you could
Get
probably get
robbed.
mugged, robbed.
Mm.
And so why would you want that?
Mm.
Now there are areas like I'll give you an example. My friend's son went to Mexico City 2 years ago, and she was terrified, right? And I
Mhm.
told her, to be honest with you, you don't really have to be, I mean, you really don't have much to be terrified about because it seems to me like he's going to be fine. He's in an area where, I mean, it was a little kind of iffy just because of where his Airbnb was, but in general, Mexico City's pretty safe. I told her, I
Mhm.
said, "Oh, like, just make sure you tell him to keep his phone hidden and his wallet, like, and his, like, somewhere hidden in his pants because you don't want to be
Mhm.
left without, you don't want to be,
You don't
left
want to lay
without
it
your
around.
wallet. Yeah,
Yeah.
while in Mexico City and then not be able to board the plane or something. So, other than that, I said just I don't think he has much to be careful about. But there are instances, obviously, where oh, excuse me, even the police could be dangerous. We saw
She's
a,
without power.
a
That's why. But someone
Yeah,
was asking about color, light. Your
yeah,
power's out. Is what I was telling someone.
my power is out and I'm getting light from my iPad. So we saw, I think it was a couple months ago, a young man, I think 20 something years old, being beaten to death while walking his dog by the Mexican police in Mexico City.
By
It's
several
not,
people.
I think there were like 4 cops that beat him to death
Oh,
in
the
front of
cops.
his dog.
The cops
Cops,
beat
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. What for? They were robbing him.
We don't know because all the video really shows is like a far away take of him getting stopped. He was
Okay.
walking his dog, most likely high. He must have been high
Uh,
on marijuana. But it doesn't. I mean, still, that's
yeah.
no excuse to kill someone, right?
No.
And then it looks like he has sort of a confrontation with them. Probably said, "Get the hell out of here" or whatever. Who knows? We don't know because there's no sound on the video. Somebody filming it all from a window, and then him getting beaten to death, and then dragged and put in some car, and then thrown at some park somewhere.
That's dangerous up there. Some of your
Little did
cops
they
are.
know.
Some of
Little
your cops are corrupt, though, aren't
did they
they?
know that yeah, little did they know that they were being filmed by somebody from a window. They had no idea. And then I think from a car or something. And then they also well no then they found the body. So they knew obviously that it was them. So you do have that aspect of crime, which a lot of times is worse than regular crime, because a lot of times they have sort of the ability to hurt you even more, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so
They can come back and get you again if you talk and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah, they're dangerous.
Are
Sometimes it's
the cops controlled by the cartels in some cases, or are
no, not really. No, not
okay?
really. The cartels. I mean,
Or are they afraid of the cartels?
not for random people. I mean, maybe for themselves, as far as maybe keeping them away, or as far as
Mm-hmm.
no, the cartels actually they don't want problems as far as petty, stupid crime or people being abused or
Mm-hmm.
people being, taken advantage of by the police or people being robbed. They don't want that. The cartels, they don't want people being robbed, um, because it's petty crime, and they don't want petty crime. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear it. They don't want the small fry stuff. They want the big ticket stuff, right?
They don't want to call more attention to an area and make it, as they would say, a red zone.
Oh, they control it type thing. Is there more than one faction against each other in Mexico?
More than one what?
One is there one controller of all the cartels, or is there more than one faction fighting each other?
No, no, no. It's different. It just varies by area, by geography, basically, by region.
Okay, so someone else is in control of a different area, that kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Oh,
type of thing.
yeah.
That was me, not someone from the audience. Someone asked what your thoughts on the Somalia stealing, what they're doing with the billions and billions they're getting from that. We have our thieves that way here, and it's not just Somalia, but it's mostly that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've
Oh,
heard
here
much on
it
that.
just depends on the state. Like down near Mexico City, you have what they call the family. It's the Michoacan family, and then here you have other ones, and you know, different stuff, different.
Well, I was talking about the daycare scam when they're taking government money, that kind of stuff. And I guess Newsom's in a lot of trouble for 70 some $billion or something. This kind of stuff.
God, what
Yeah,
is wrong with these people? Well, there goes his
it's
chances of.
78 billion, and that speed rail, none of it's built, and they've taken billions of dollars, 18 billion so far, and years of money, and they haven't built any of it for that
How
speed
are
rail.
they funneling the money? Do you know?
It just kind of disappears, and they control all the levers of power. You can't get them out. So you really should run for governor. So,
I should run for governor and hold these people accountable for all
oh
their
yeah,
money laundering
Oh,
fraud,
big
basically.
time. Well, it sounds like they are going to go after Newsom and Tampon Tim and all that. That 18 or 19 billion at least in Minnesota.
Oh my
Uh,
God, that much?
yeah, billions,
These
billions.
people are insane. I
It's a
swear
bunch
to
in
you, they like,
Michigan. It's all the blue states where all this money's
yeah.
disappearing from these daycares. They just, get an LCD and this and that. And if they get caught, they come out with a new one, with a different name, and they don't take care
Oh
of
my
the kids.
gosh.
And then they're sending with the Somalians. They were sending a lot of the money back to Somalia. Half the money was going back to Somalia. Billions were. Half of Somalia's economy is all coming from all these. They had healthcare things, daycare things. I don't know if you've watched any of that stuff. It's ridiculous how much
Yeah,
they were spending.
yeah, the daycares I've seen.
Yeah, they also were supposedly taking care of elderly, and there's no elderly there at these things. And they wouldn't answer any questions on it. This and that.
Oh, it wasn't just children, it was also the elderly.
Yeah, there was elderly cares and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh.
Yeah, Tampon Tim that dropped out of race for governor. Did you see that or no?
Why? Because of all this going on?
Yeah, yeah, he's going to be in a lot of legal trouble. He might go to jail for it.
Oh
He
my
said
God. That's what he gets for
it
running
looks
for
like some of the money
governor.
was going back through other people to him. It's just a money laundering thing. It goes to here, then it goes over here, then over here, and then back to Tampon. You know, they pass it through about 4 or 5 hands, and he gets his cut. In the end. So
Yeah.
and they get rich. Like Omar came in, she was way in debt when she came into office, and within 4 years, she's worth millions. So you're
How do you,
yeah.
wow.
So
You know,
say if you
they
gotten
said the
elected, you
same
wouldn't have been doing
thing.
that.
They said the same thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she had that she was now worth like 25 million after a few years in Congress. And then same thing with Anna
I think some of
Paulina.
that's knowing what to bet on in the stock market. Some of that is from that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Th-
Knowing
Then
what's
they
going to
also
go up and
called
down.
out they called out Anna Paulina Meyerhofer, which is her real name, and when she used to dance at the strip club in Fort Walton, Florida.
Oh, I thought you were talking
But
about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It seems like
oh yeah,
she's looking for a bid on the View now, so she's changing her opinion.
nothing says I love America more than collaborating with the View. You know?
Yeah. Well,
Do
they
you
would pay,
see?
they would pay millions a year. I know, 3 or 4 million
Do
a
you
year.
see that I was onto something with her? And people, let me tell you, people will try to
I
say that,
tried to stay out of that stuff, but I do hear
yeah,
stuff.
no, and I know that a lot of people support her, but here's the thing, and I've been telling you guys this for a while, and I'm not going to make this Jerry show about Marjorie Taylor Greene, but
Yeah.
I've been telling, there's a reason why for the last 4 years I've been calling her a traitor. And that's what Trump ended up calling her ultimately, because eventually, because the thing about Marjorie, for those of us who know her personally, I know her like I've had, I've met her personally many times. I've spent hours and hours next to her with her.
Hmm.
Um, the reason why I am able to speak like this about her is because Marjorie only likes you and will only play with you. She's like a little kid.
Hmm.
She will only play with you if you give her what she wants. If you follow her lead, if she gets what she wants from you. But the minute she does not, she turns on you. And that's, in my opinion, what I mean, that's what Trump told us, that the reason why she was acting this way was because he didn't support her run for governor or for Senate, right? But to be honest with you, I just don't think I mean, I think she should have stayed in Congress for a few more years if she was going to, if anything. And then from
Well,
there,
she stayed
maybe,
long enough so she can get her pension.
no,
That's
no, no. But
that's why.
I'm saying if she wanted to run for Senate, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She
Um,
was going to.
she allegedly attacked my dog shelter back in 2022 when I ran for Congress, which I do believe she did. My 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 dog shelter was targeted in 2022, in January of 2022, just as I was about to dedicate my entire life to running for Congress. And then they started exposing her that she had paid some cartel people out here to attack us, when cartels don't do that. Cartels don't attack dog shelters. And so anyway, I do believe that she's on a revenge, um, just a revenge. vindictive, you know,
Mhm.
just tour against Donald Trump because he didn't want to support her, and then she pairs it with saying that she's against the Jews and that she's just exposing. And I do believe there's a lot of things that we don't like in government. It's been, not excluding the Trump administration,
Mhm.
but that's not the reason why she's doing it, though. Even though she's onto something in many ways, a lot of times, but that's not the reason why she's doing it.
Mhm.
She's doing it because she's mad at Trump and she wants to take him down. And that's what a traitor does. Anyway, let's move on from Marjorie Taylor Greene because I know that a lot of
Someone
people
asked
support her.
what your opinion is of Zoran, the mayor there, whatever, from New York City that came in.
So here's my take on him. I so as you guys know, I'm a New Yorker now, right?
Mhm.
And I'm so I mean I was just in New York last month and dealing with what every other New Yorker deals with. So I'm very, very qualified to speak on it. And I've lived in New York for years, off and on, for the last 12 years, 13 years. And I can tell you that New York is a very, very, very difficult, stressful city.
It's expensive.
I it's the most expensive city in America. I mean, when you're paying $17 for a sandwich, you know that something is wrong, you know.
Well, he was
And
supposed
there
to
are
give you free bus fares, and what did he do when he first came in? They raised the bus fares. So
wow, I didn't well, like I said, I haven't been I
after he
haven't
was
been
sworn
back
in,
since
within
I
24
haven't
hours,
been
they
back
raised
since
it.
he was sworn in. I came back.
Same thing with the
I mean,
subways; they all went up.
I left in the middle of December. I came back. I come
Hmm.
back next month or whatever, whenever I go back. But
Hmm.
um, I haven't been back since he got sworn in. So I know that New York has become so difficult, and here's why: the rents have gotten out of control. So when you have the problem when it comes to the rents, right? Everything else is going to be impossible to deal with. We have thousands and thousands of empty units all over the five boroughs, and yet we have homeless people or struggling people everywhere. I mean, Jerry.
He's trying to drive people out. They want to have the government control it all.
Well, but here's the thing, though. This is before he came in. I had to leave New York City in 2014 because the rents and the
All
laws
fraud.
got out of control, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I used to rent an apartment for $2,000 a room. I used to rent a room within a loft for $2,000 a month, which was already expensive to begin with. Okay,
Yeah, that is. That's ridiculous.
I used to rent just one room for $2,000 a month in 2014 and 2013, right? And I mean, think of what I'm saying. It was super expensive. However, they used to allow me to pay by the week, which I thought, okay, well, this is great because a lot of times I could be here or not be here. And so even though it's still expensive, let's say I would stay all of January and then I could say in the middle of February, say, well, you know what, I'm leaving. So instead of paying the $4,000 a month, I would only pay 3,000, but yet be able to stay for a couple weeks, which was really convenient. But suddenly the government stepped in and they removed all that. They blocked people being able to do that. So it really affected not only the economy, but it really affected, I mean, the economy of the landlords who were doing this, but it also affected the people who were trying to live there, such as myself. And so what they did is they established rules so that and laws that prevented people from being able to rent for less than six months, right?
Yeah.
So think of the difference. For me, since I've always worked for myself. Wait one second, because I'm getting a delivery. Hello? Bueno?
You're okay. Yeah, I know it's a lot cheaper here. Rent's more
Mucho.
like something like that would maybe be $400 or something like that, 400 or
Yeah, yeah,
500.
yeah. And so imagine the difference between me having to spend $12,000 as opposed to say I work for myself, right? So since I work for myself, I could travel and do anywhere and go anywhere I want. So it was a lot different to say, hey, I'm going to pay 3,000 and then I'm going to leave and go to Mexico for a month or 2 or 3 and then I'll be back. And so,
Mhm.
but there are people that can't do that. There are people that have, permanent jobs and that have to be there all the time, and that were really affected by these laws. And so New York has become impossible basically to live at. New York has become so expensive, so stressful that people are literally people are so disillusioned. There's so much homelessness. There's so much struggling. So that's what he won on. He won
Mhm.
on he won
Cost of living.
on the cost of living. That right there was his main campaign promise point,
Well,
whatever.
he
And
was
so
promising all this free stuff, free tolls, free this, free that.
the thing is that
It's not possible to do that, huh?
there is a lot of abusive capitalism in New York City, and I can't say that about the rest of America, but because I'm a capitalist at
Well,
heart.
how could they believe all that stuff could be free?
No, 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 no. But there's a lot of abusive capitalism in New York City. So okay, so I'll tell you what I mean by that. There are people, there are investors that are buying out New York City,
Yeah,
and
they control everything then.
yeah, and so people
So there's no
have to.
competition.
Yeah, well, not only that, but people have to leave because there's no place to live. So what people are doing is they started moving to Pennsylvania. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I know that because I've lived in Pennsylvania. My mother right now, you picked me up from our house in Pennsylvania. You know this.
Yeah, I didn't know if you want that out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know about our,
Yeah,
my life in
we went to
Pennsylvania.
an event together. In fact, I'm wearing that shirt right now.
Yeah, so our town, our town where we
Yep.
went to the event. So our town was flooded with New Yorkers in the recent 4 years. Why? Because it's impossible to live in New York. Why? Because it's so expensive. So obviously, when you have democratic socialists such as Mamdani come in and talk about lowering rents and lowering prices and raising salaries and all,
He was talking free.
obviously he's going to win. And not only that, but people that are, like I go to a gym in the city, very expensive gym or whatever.
Well,
And
also, there's a lot of Islam in New York now.
yeah, there's a lot of
So he's got
immigration.
that vote going
There's
up
a lot.
right there.
I mean, you will literally be people praying in the middle of the street nowadays.
Yeah. Are you
I
ever worried about being in danger?
in New York.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've been in so much danger over the last 2 years. You have no idea.
Yeah.
I was chased by some guy. It was September 16th. I was chased by two black men, one near Pier 32, I think it was, and then one on 8th Avenue near my school, FIT. I was literally chased by two drug addict black men that that if they would have, I mean, one of them, I think he was just trying to scare me, and then the other one, I think if he would have actually gotten to me, he could
Well,
have
they would
hurt
have
me.
stolen from you at
New
minimum,
York, yeah,
maybe raped you otherwise.
New York City has become one of the most dangerous cities in America by far.
Well, they
By
also have no bail there too. They kick you right
Yeah,
back out on the
yeah.
street.
And everybody steals everything. All our pharmacies, like Walgreens and CVS and Target and everything is locked up except the criminals, right?
Sandy, I live in upstate New York. That's
So
different.
think about this. And all this has Mamdani was not in office when this all happened. And he, what made me feel really comfortable about Mamdani, all religion aside, as far as, Islam and any anything that Islam tries to impose onto New York City. Um, because I don't think Mamdani is. I mean, I know that we are now hearing like sounds, the bells or whatever, the horns or whatever it may
Uh,
be.
the
Yeah,
prayer, call to
yeah,
prayer in the morning.
yeah. But as far as safety and stuff, I can I can only hope that he collaborates more with NYPD. His meeting with New York, his meeting with Trump did make me feel a lot more comfortable.
No.
Um, he is onto a lot of
Well,
truths.
Trump basically told him, "I'm going to stop sending money if you don't fall in line." Is what Trump tried to tell him. I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah, but then also Trump really praised them when he was there. He didn't
Yeah.
have to do that because you guys know Trump as well as I do. We know Trump like better than a lot of times
I
better
kind of
than
wonder
most.
if he's saying one thing on camera and another thing behind the scenes, though, too. You know,
No, but I do think that Trump wouldn't have praised him the way he did unless Mamdani had some good points and good ideas for New York City, because he has made it a point to tell us that he's not trying to push the Jews out. He's not trying to. He's
well,
that
that's
he.
surprising. That's true.
Yeah, of course it is, but that's what a good politician really should do. I mean, whether he's a Muslim or not, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, New York is controlled by the Jews.
Well,
And
he's
I know that.
well, I'm
I
not
go to a
about
Jewish school, My
that. Yeah,
school is Jewish. And the ones that have the money in New York City are the Jews. So it would
yeah.
be, to be
That's
honest with you,
always been the case.
yeah. It would be really stupid of him to start a war against the Jewish people in New York City, because it's a war that he would most likely lose.
Hmm.
And it would be the absolute destruction of New York City. So he has talked about having so many meetings with the Jewish community, and truly working for New Yorkers as opposed to working for religious groups, which is how a lot of people have tried labeling him. They tried labeling him as a Muslim, as opposed to labeling him as a democratic socialist, because
Yes, that's the same as the guy from Venezuela, Democratic Socialist.
I mean, well, that's, yeah, I understand, but I think the reason why he's also calling himself a democratic socialist is because whether that is what he is or not,
He
is
gets a
because
lot of the college vote that way.
he gets a lot of, exactly, it's a branding strategy, I think. And then also, not only that, but he knows that, I mean, think about it. If you have fire, what do you need to put it out? You need water. So you need the opposite, right?
Mm.
So if you have this abusive capitalism, which is what's been going on in New York City for years, which is why I left New York City in 2014. So I left New York City 12 years ago, and then I came back, but I left New York City. I had no choice but to leave New York City because it was so expensive that just the cost of living started getting extremely expensive. I mean, even just the renting situation. That's why I left. And I was pushed out
They
of
haven't
Brooklyn.
they haven't had a good mayor since Giuliani.
Not had a good mayor for years. Cuomo, look at what Cuomo did during the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's
do you
terrible.
think it would have been
Well, he wasn't
reasonable?
mayor, but he was governor. Yeah.
Do you think it would have been reasonable for him to win again? Like,
No.
no, we
Well, they
already
didn't
know.
have a good choice. Well,
And
they
and I, and I
could have
know
won.
that
He has no chance. Yeah.
I know that at the last minute, Trump and Musk and Elon Musk endorsed Cuomo, but come
Yeah.
on, we saw what Cuomo did in 2020.
Well, that
He,
was kind of like lesser of two evils, is what
yeah,
I'm trying to.
well,
There was a
I
third
mean,
guy in the race, but he had no chance. He was
I
just the
mean,
third guy.
I don't think after what Cuomo did, especially with all the older, with the elderly community, as far
Yeah,
as the
vaccine unmasking and all that. I agree. And they put him in the nursing homes and all that kind of stuff.
put him in the nursing homes and basically killing people, knowing exactly what he was doing
Yeah,
during.
that was the vulnerable people. I think they wanted more deaths, is what they wanted. Because
They did because they were getting federal incentives to get people to die if people
Mhm.
died. So anyway, yeah. So I just pray that Mamdani acts in a way where it's truly beneficial to the city's economy, to the city. Not I'm not talking about socialism in a way where people start getting free everything, and then
if they want to control
does,
it, you'll
you
own
know?
nothing, and they will be happy. They want to own all the houses. They want
No,
to
no, no, I know, no. That's based. No,
they want to take
I
all property. The one that is under Mandami's number one person underneath him is a woman.
no,
She's
I'm not
saying about
a capitalist. I
collectivism and
want
taking all the properties. And it turns out that her mom owns a lot of property.
exactly. Yeah, no, I'm 100% against
Collectivism.
any regime like that of the government controlling everything like that, and that's a lot of what's being talked about in Mexico as well. But
Well, that's
but no, but I think he had to go radical so that it would counter what's been going on in New York for years. Again, this isn't anything new. What I'm telling you is not something that I just witnessed in the
I don't
past.
think he's honest.
I mean, to be honest with you, I would rather have him than Cuomo.
Yeah, I wish there was a better choice.
And I
So,
just and the other
someone,
guy, the Polish guy, I don't think he was a choice. Nobody really wanted him.
yeah, I don't know. I think he would have done better, but in any case, I don't know if he would have done great. But
I just don't
someone
think
asked,
I don't think he
some
had the experience, you know.
someone asked about Colombia. Are they much different than Venezuela's people? I know they do a lot of drugs there in Colombia.
The thing about Colombia though is that the Colombia does have quote unquote a legitimate president, and Venezuela, Maduro was never recognized neither by the Europe or by the Biden administration.
Well,
So if
they lost like 70% to 20% or something like that because there was other candidates in the thing, and then he tried to arrest and have the other people killed that he were running against him. So
yeah,
that's what happened with
well,
Venezuela.
I know that Colombia has an amazing economy right now. I don't think people are suffering, but obviously historically Colombia has been one of the main drug hubs of the world,
Mhm.
if not the main one. So obviously there's a reason why there's so much money in Colombia too, just like there is in Mexico, because there's a lot of drug money coming in.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know that what's his name? Gustavo, what's his name? The president.
of
I don't
Colombia,
know.
I don't know off
Yeah,
the top of my head.
yeah.
So I know that they're kind of
Gustavo,
ruthless there. The people, the cartels or whatever they are, the
yeah,
drug
I mean,
cartels. They're
Gustavo was
ruthless.
everywhere pretty much. But I
Yeah,
don't know that Trump would go in and attack Colombia because, again, technically I mean, if
he's
they
warning him about all the drugs coming in.
drug,
Warning
the
him about
drug as a terrorist, or as a leader of or anything, if they accuse him of any of these crimes, then yeah, technically, I guess they could do that. But I don't know that they're gonna go and bomb Colombia the way they've
Well,
been
he
doing.
has no warrant, a worldwide warrant. That was by the UN or something. The warrant that
I
came
think
out.
Venezuela was already very vulnerable to begin with, and I think that it came to a point where the stolen election just became so obvious and and so aggressive, so dangerous for them that uh, millions of people in Venezuela were begging for that. And I think that,
Oh, you just see him all partying, and after he was arrested.
yeah, yeah, not only that, but I mean, you heard this woman on your video, the video that you just played.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that
played
pretty
part of
much
it.
itself, that pretty much tells you how the rest of not the rest of the population, but a huge
I have
percentage
seen
of
one
the population.
Venezuelan that wasn't for it. It wasn't celebrating. So I haven't seen one. So
Yeah.
um,
And then people that were protesting in America and then in Mexico as well, they're not even Venezuelan. They're from other countries. Like, why would you be protesting against, um,
arresting
a dictator that has killed thousands of people
mhm.
and that has so many political
People were
prisoners?
starving
And
to death there.
I mean, he has them in absolute poverty. He caused this massive exodus of people.
Well, he
And
sold out to China, Hezbollah, and Russia.
yeah, and look at their people. Their people are now
Mm.
they're in America trying to make something of themselves.
Yeah, and they sent their gangs up here.
Yeah, and because a lot of I mean, most Venezuelans, I know there's a lot of gang members because there are, but most Venezuelans are good people. Most Venezuelans are. They're very good people.
Someone's
A
asking. Oh, go ahead.
Like a lot of the gang members are not, but in general, Venezuelans are good people. They really are.
Someone
Um,
asked how this will change Mexico. Will it change Mexico much with
for
Venezuela
right
going
now,
down?
I don't know. But for right now, I don't know that it'll change Mexico much. But I do think that it'll definitely tell the president Sheinbaum that Trump is not messing around to put it nicely.
He's got some balls because it could have gone really sour if that didn't go through. That didn't work.
Yeah.
If several
Uh,
people have died in the taking him, arresting him, and all that, it could have gone bad.
yeah.
They performed the operation really well. So a
Yeah.
lot of
But
people are saying that there were some people on the inside working with him to help turn things off and let that happen.
I agree. I agree. I don't think they would have been able for it would have been able to go so smoothly. They claim that they got him right as he was walking into his dungeon. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, there's been some AI things that of it happening, but that's not real video, you know.
Yeah, right into his bunker, not his dungeon, but his bunker.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's
and
definitely happened.
so I think that obviously they had an entire blueprint of his house and everything else, but and even if they wouldn't have gotten him there, I mean, they would have taken over the property anyway, and who knows? But the bottom line is that they got him, they got his wife, and now they're gonna prolong these what do you call it?
Trials.
These trials, I believe, until 2027 at least, or 2028.
Oh,
And but see, the thing is that the president that now, the interim president now, she's already making some threats, and I don't know if she's
oh,
gonna
from what I've
be.
seen, she was cooperating. Which what's she
I
saying?
mean, would you not cooperate after
Oh
seeing
yeah.
what they have done? So
Actually,
I think,
they'll end up with more money if they start running the wells the right way. Again, they just won't be
right.
able to launder the other
Well, the
oil
thing
that
is that
is coming in and back out.
somebody has to come in and take over. That's basically what needs to
They got to
happen.
run things for a while.
And Maduro was not going to let that happen. So that's why and I do agree that he's a criminal, that he's
Well,
been.
it also gets China and Russia out of South America.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, strategically, it was the best move for the U.S.
it'll also
And then
stop the
also,
cocaine coming from there, which is a good thing, and start new
yeah,
businesses there. And I think the people down there want it too, if you ask me. So,
yeah. Like I said, I mean, Venezuela has been starving for years. There was a point a few years back. I had a friend from Venezuela. I have a friend from Venezuela. In fact, I'm going to call her this week, and she
I
had
had
to
some
flee.
talking to me too. I don't know them real well, but they were talking to me about how happy they were and all that.
Yeah, my friend said that she had to flee Venezuela. She lives in Mexico. She ended up having a kid in Mexico, and then she had to pay and get her parents out of there because she said that they were just so poor, because of whatever political situation they had going on. This was back in 2017, so this has been going on for years. This is something that they've been dealing with also for many years because of Maduro, right?
Hmm.
And so all those people must be ecstatic to see that there's going to be change. Like I said, just today, I just got a post from my friend Elisa,
Hmm.
who talked about President or the Trump administration, and Marco Rubio releasing prisoners, political prisoners, people that had probably been there for God knows how long,
Sure.
and that
All that,
and
yeah.
that maybe thought they would never get out, and who knows how many of them have died while in those prisons? Who knows what their
I've
physical
seen
condition?
some of the torture stuff, and I can't
Yeah,
even play it. It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
bad what they were doing to them.
I can't even imagine. I can't
Yeah,
even imagine. So,
burning them, putting acid type stuff on them.
oh my God, I can't even imagine. But
Yeah, I
as
can't play
again,
them. I
as
can't play
I
the videos.
understand today, a lot of those people are being released. It's called Trump something release or something,
Hmm.
and so obviously, can you imagine thousands of people celebrating that over their families, over their friends, whoever they might be, related to them, and not only that, but the economy too, and not only that, but
Oh, that's
um,
got to improve. It was so
yeah,
terrible. It went
and
from the
the
fourth best
regime.
economy in the world. Then when
Yeah,
they took
and
over, and now it's
the
one of the
suppression that
worst.
they've been living under, with no basic constitution. I mean, they are supposed to have
Now
constitutional rights.
they're supposed to going to be able to talk freely. They aren't totally yet. I think they're
Yeah,
still.
that's what I'm saying. Even just that.
Yeah.
and to have free and fair elections again, And
Mhm.
so I've been learning a lot over the last few days, listening to some of the interviews and the Maria Machado interviews um, and I do have to talk to one of my friends. I interviewed her in 2017, Marco from Latinos for Trump, the founder of Latinos for Trump, because don't be fooled, Bianca Gracia was not the founder of Latinos for Trump. It was Marco Gutierrez who was the
Mhm.
founder of Latinos for Trump.
Well, how'd the other
She,
person get that name? They steal it somehow?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
they did. She did.
Oh, okay.
And because I remember she didn't exist and we already had Latinos for Trump, so and she was nowhere around. But anyway, so he wanted to do an interview with my Venezuelan friend because their situation was so bad. I mean, they didn't even have toilet paper. They didn't even have light bulbs. They hardly had any food. They were eating dogs. They were eating
Someone put
cats.
a I forgot what it was, like, some 9 million people have left Venezuela, and also some like 1 million starved to death or something. I don't know, but
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I'm telling you, my friend said that they were eating cats and dogs off the street.
and anyone that was objecting to it, I seen videos where they hung them upside down and slowly lowered them into these pits with these alligators with their hands tied behind their back.
Yeah.
They would make you confess to anything, to get them to talk and that. They come up
It,
with
and
creative
it,
ways.
it all started with socialism, you
Yeah,
know?
it did. When they get
So,
full control, full
yeah,
control.
yeah,
You, you never give anyone full control. And did you know that
right.
all his guards were Cuban?
Yeah, they were killed too.
Yeah, all the guards, the people guarding him were Cuban. He didn't trust his own people
Yeah,
guarding him. So so is
I know
Cuba going to go down next?
I
A lot of
believe
people
two of
are
them
hoping
were
that
killed.
is Cuba going to go down next? Some people are
I
saying that
mean,
they lost
wow,
their support
Cuba.
from China and Russia.
I mean, Cuba. They also that's another place where they've been dealing with communism for
Longer,
forever, right? It's been a communist nation forever, and I mean,
58 years or something like that.
they could probably only wish for. I mean, they're probably so used to it. They're so broken. They're like elephants at the zoo. They're so broken,
I
that
guess
they.
Trump's doing some things that's making it so they might be driven out of power. I don't know. It's
Well,
happening in Iran too. We'll get to Iran here in a minute, but I don't know if you've been seeing any of that.
again, Mexico is nowhere near as radical as that, so it's hard for me to even imagine how they live. However, I do know that a lot of people in Mexico claim. I'm not one of them necessarily, but a lot of people in Mexico claim that it would be good for Trump to intervene because of the high crime that people face in Mexico. So it's
I don't
difficult to
think there's
tell.
a way he can from here take out the cartels. Or aren't they weeded in there really strong in
Yeah,
Mexico?
they're everywhere, and it would be. I mean, obviously they have a lot more intel than you and I do, than any of us really know. But and they have the DEA that has known all these cells and all these places in the
To
different
control where
states where,
other fingers are and everything.
yeah, the
Yeah.
production of the main production happens of all these drugs and everything. But
Would you say
I
the
just don't
border is
know.
pretty well closed? The USA
Oh yeah,
Mexico.
yeah. The border, I 100% trust the Trump administration with, because I mean, I don't think, look at the numbers.
Hmm.
One of my friends is a DHS officer now, and he talks about the numbers being the lowest in history.
Hmm.
And
Well,
these
he
are
just
like
by taking
like
Venezuela out, he's cut down what is it, 40 or 50% of the cocaine that was coming to the United States was coming from there. So,
yeah, and they are like literally boots on the ground, so it's nothing like,
hmm.
it's not like they're just speculating. They are seeing it all. They've been seeing it all for decades. They know what it's like. and they claim that that it's the lowest in history. So, and not only that, but
As long as they've been
um,
recording it or something. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow. So life's going to be good there eventually.
yeah.
Drug sales and all that, that's such a dirty business, and that they're
I mean, it
harming
did
people.
create a lot of crime. It did. It created so much crime. You know.
And the people running that stuff was ruthless that were running it. They
Yeah,
were ruthless people running in that and this and that. Maybe we should tell everyone about your story. You were kidnapped at one time, right?
yeah, and that was basically corruption too. It was government corruption,
Oh, it was your own
and
government.
yeah, and the people ended up in jail eventually. The government officials that orchestrated the whole thing ended up in jail.
What
Believe
they
it or not,
want from you,
money,
and and you didn't have the money to give them, did you?
ransom. They wanted a lot more. We ended up giving them only 15,000.
Wow, that's still a lot. I couldn't come up with that. Couldn't come up with anything, you know. I get gas money. Here's my gas money, so I can't drive anymore.
I called
Did
a
you get
friend
that
that
money
really,
back?
no, I never got it back.
Oh,
No, I had a
okay.
friend that really trusted me. He knew what happened. He found out because it was a very public thing. So
They
they
can take
had
that
us
money
with,
and then kill you anyways. Some of them do that.
it was too public by the time it all happened. So then I left. I went back to the US for a while because I was traumatized by the whole thing, and I didn't go back for almost 2.5 years.
Well,
But
surprised you went
almost
back,
3 years. But
period.
I
So,
know it was hard. I went
well,
back once they were
if they
already in
hadn't
jail.
been arrested and put out of power and that, you maybe never would have gone back, right? Because they could have done it again or something.
Yeah, I just left. I was so traumatized. It was so horrible. I had so much PTSD from it. I could not stand to face like checkpoint or like soldiers because it like oh my God, it was horrible.
They were
But
part of it, huh? There were
yeah.
soldiers or something that were part
Oh
of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And they had us for 3 days, and to me, the main leader of the whole thing, she was actually really nice because she was a lesbian and she was literally like hitting on me. But to the rest of the people, they were not so nice. They barely like, I think they gave them like a couple pieces of bread every day just to eat something.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and to
Did they
me,
ever like hit you or harm you physically?
no, 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 no. In
Oh,
fact,
because
they
it
had
wasn't all
me.
those. Some of them they get raped and all that kind of stuff.
No, she was even like hitting on me. It was disgusting. She was this big,
Oh,
like,
that's right. She
big,
was gay. The one that.
she was gay. She was this big, like, butchy woman, and she
Oh.
was like I said, literally hitting on me.
Hmm.
And even offered me like special food, and I was like, "You fucking criminal." Sorry about my language, but if anyone
It
has
makes
ever
you
been,
wish that you had the Second Amendment back then.
if anyone has ever been kidnapped, you would understand all this. What? Oh my gosh. So, but anyway, so they gave us the ability to leave because they knew everything about us. That's how they work. And
Hmm.
so I called my friend. He gave me the money. We brought them back the money,
Wow, I
and
would have been scared to go back.
yeah. Well, honestly, it was the American embassy who also intervened for me.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yeah, the American embassy got involved
What
because my
year was
family
that
called the
about?
American embassy, and it actually worked. It was during the Obama years, and it actually
Oh,
worked.
that's surprising. They didn't
So,
help too many
but
people.
yeah. Anyway, Jerry, I really have to go. We could do another interview because
Oh,
we
okay.
could
They were
go
going to
on.
ask about Iran and a few other people put some things up, but I'll ask you next time. Okay, if you got to go, take care.
We when we could do an interview again. Today's Thursday. We could
Okay,
do
I'll
one
try
on
to
the
get
weekend.
Alberto on here. He had a family emergency. He was gonna be part of this, but
Who was?
Alberto from Florida. I think he's Cuban American, I believe.
Oh,
So
okay, okay, okay. I could
yeah,
definitely do another interview with you through the weekend. That means on the weekend.
okay. We'll do it on the weekend. We'll see what time works for you. I
Let's
got
do
more.
Sunday anytime you want on Sunday. Okay.
All right. After the Bills game, the Bills game's on at 1 o'clock my time. So anytime after 4, which is 1 o'clock your time,
Okay.
sometime like that. All right. We'll
Okay.
talk.
Let me know, and thank you guys, everyone, for
All right. God
watching.
bless.
I
God
have
bless. A lot of
many,
hearts.
many.
I'm
Many
gonna ask
more
you.
stories to share with you.
Let me end this. I want to ask you a question someone asked, and whether I should tell them in the future. All right. So I'm going to end this. Take care. God bless everyone. Stay there just for a few seconds. Bye bye.
Okay.
Let me end.
Bye.